Say, fight fans, what's good? It's your boy D Scott. We back again. Hardcore casual MMA. Thank you. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. It's a new year, new fights, new promotion with the UFC linking up with Paramount for the big blockbuster deal, and we're about to see how this thing goes. The first card of the year looks great, and if it is to set the tone for the year, we're in for a great year in 2026. But besides that, we're gonna kick off this breakdown with UFC 324 Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, and we're gonna go to the prelims and get into it. I'm gonna give you my predictions. I'm gonna let you give you a little insight on the fighters, and we're gonna break this thing down. Let's go. First up on the early prelims, we got Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. Ty Miller just recently made his debut on the Contender Series. This is gonna be his debut UFC pro fight. Adam Fugit made his debut back in 2022 against now great prospect Michael Morales, and of course he got finished in that fight in the first round. Both of these guys kind of have had that wrestling background and wrestling base. Adam Fugit has been in the UFC since 2022. Don't know a whole lot about him. He's not that big or exciting of a fighter, but I'm gonna go with the new prospect Ty Miller with the win by decision on this one. Next up in the bantamweight division, we had a UFC 29 tough winner Ricky Turcios versus another bantamweight prospect and Cameron Smotherman, who has been up and down a little lately, and so has Ricky Turcios. But Cameron Smotherman is the favorite in this fight. He's a little bit tall, longy, rangy striker, and kind of likes to pick guys on the stay at range and pick guys apart. Ricky Turcios is he's mostly likes to use his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. On the feet, he's unorthodox to say the least. Throws crazy strikes. He likes to use his kicks more than anything. He's scrappy, he's wiry. So Smotherman is the favorite in this fight, but I say Ricky Turcios is a live underdog. He has that relentless, scrappy heart, and never quits on himself. But I think I'm gonna go with the underdog on this one. Ricky Turcios maybe getting it done by decision. That's it. Let's go on to the next fight. Next up in the heavyweight division, we got two prospects. Josh Hokit, a former NFL player, played a little bit for the 49ers. He was a great All-American wrestler as well. What else did he do? This guy has so much that he's already accomplished before moving into combat sports. He fought in the PFL. No. He fought in Bellator. I think he had 2 fights in Bellator. Then he moved to the LFA, fought in the LFA, and then got his debut last November, as well as his opponent Denzel Freeman. He debuted in the UFC last year as well. Denzel Freeman, I think he was a former Marine. He also has a wrestling background and base, but he doesn't use it much at all. Only when he needs to, or when he's taking too much damage, he might try to get the fight to the ground. But he's fell in love with the Muay Thai, training out of Denver, Colorado, and he loves to stand and use his kicks. He has a hell of a high kick. These fighters are very similar in their backgrounds and their paths to the UFC. It's kind of crazy the similarities they have in common with each other, but not the fighting styles, but just their backgrounds. Josh Hokit, he uses his wrestling, but this guy is, needless to say, being a former NFL player, he is athletic, and carries a lot of power, explosive, and he will probably give Denzel Freeman problems, especially with his wrestling. He may get him out of there early in the fight, like he did in his debut fight. But I imagine Hokit will use his wrestling. He likes to set up his takedowns with his hands and throwing, jabs, straights, and big overhands to get the opponent evading. But Denzel Freeman does have good eyes. He does see a lot and is decent in the stand up with that Muay Thai base. Those kicks he throws, he has good combos as well. Um, this is gonna be an interesting fight. But I think just Josh Hokit with the athletic and power advantage is gonna pull this one out. It may end early, but it could go to a decision. I think the only way Denzel Freeman his path to victory is really to avoid the takedowns and keep it on the feet, and be able to pick Hokit apart without taking any damage, which that'll be a difficult task for him. So I'm gonna go with Josh Hokit with the finish in the second round. Let's go to the next fight, guys. Next up, we got two long-time vets in the UFC that have been staples in the lightweight division for some time. Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. And as we know, Michael Johnson has a TKO win against the legend, formerly just retired Dustin Poirier. Um, got toe up by Gaethje, and that kind of began his descent in the not being able to get over the hump, as well as Alexander Hernandez. He has that same issue, not being able to get over the hump against the upper echelon of the lightweight division. But Michael Johnson just came off a big underdog win against Daniel Zellhuber. I think Zellhuber was like a -500 favorite in the fight. And man, I looked at that card before and I did not catch that fight, but I was damn sure going to put money on Michael Johnson. That was a great underdog pick to take in that fight against Zellhuber, and Michael Johnson ended up winning. But as we know, Michael Johnson, with his mostly boxing base, he does throw kicks here and there. Has power in his hand. Everyone knows they have to stay out of the way of that left hand that Michael Johnson has, and it has set and knocked plenty of people down and rocked several opponents in the lightweight division throughout the years. Alexander Hernandez does have good power. He knocked out Chase Hooper. I think it was the fight before his last fight, and Chase Hooper was on a little bit of a run, and he took him out. Um, Hernandez does have good boxing, decent power. Not always, that devastating knockout power, but can, finish the fight with his hands. He likes to mix it up and use his wrestling, get takedowns on the ground. He reminds me of Mike Malott so much. I don't know what it is. I kind of get them confused sometimes, but they have like similar styles and similar body frames, I guess. But he does remind me of Mike Malott. But Alexander Hernandez, good fighter, good vet. This one is kind of a pick 'em, a toss up in my mind. We know if Michael Johnson performs up to the best of his ability, he can win a fight. We know if Alexander Hernandez performs to the best of his ability, he can win a fight. But I think Michael Johnson is the underdog in this fight, I believe. quote me on that 100%, but he is the underdog. I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson. I know he's iffy, and so is Alexander Hernandez. That's suspect. You never know how they're gonna come out, but I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson in this one, just simply out the fact coming off that win versus Zell Huber. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson. So let's get to the next one. Next up we got Alex Perez versus Charles the Energy Johnson in the flyweight division. Great, good fight, good little scrap put together. As we know, Charles Johnson has a TKO win back just a year ago in 2024 versus the now flyweight champion Joshua Van, and it was no fluke. Like, Charles Johnson is a great fighter, and he's one of those that, you know, sometimes comes out, looks unstoppable, and some fights he just, you know, comes out and makes mistakes. You know, he just gotta stay consistent. He's very fast, tall, long, rangy, you know, has good kicks, love to use that controlled distance. He quick, closing the distance in the void. He does have power as well. In that fight against Joshua Van, he came out and he was won the first round. The second round, it was pretty close. You could edge it out to either one. Charles Johnson was landed some good shots, but Joshua Van was finding those counters and, you know, throwing those big hooks and uppercuts and finding Charles Johnson as well. But Charles Johnson came out in the third round and gunned down Joshua Van, hit him. I want to say he caught him with a straight and wobbled him. Then came in with a leaping uppercut and caught Van as he was going down and put him up. Y'all have to go back and watch that. I don't think all the fights are on ESPN Plus anymore since the Paramount deal. You might have to go to UFC Fight Pass to watch the old fights, or I haven't been on Paramount's platform and went through it and seen what all they have, or if they have older fights yet. But yeah, Alex Perez, he's a decent fighter as well. Mostly uses his wrestling, has decent boxing, but I'm gonna go with Charles Energy Johnson to get this one done with the talent he has. I think he'll finish Alex Perez. Let's get to the next fight. All right, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. We're still on the prelims. Next fight, light heavyweight, we got the vet Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Modestas Bukauskas just took Paul Craig out on his retirement fight in a first round finish. I'm gonna go with Bukauskas to get this one done. I say a second round TKO. We got the prospect Atiba Gautier. Oh my God, this guy's nasty against Andre Pulyaev. I'm gonna go with the prospect Gautier. Great power. Nobody's been able to show me otherwise. Great finisher. Just a specimen of an athlete. I'm gonna go with Gautier until he starts fighting the top of the division in the middleweight. So we can get him some competition. I guess after this win, maybe they'll give him a ranked fight, or maybe they'll still try to slowly build him up. But I'm gonna go with Gautier by I don't think any of his fights have made it out of the first round yet. So first round finish. That's what I'm gonna go with. Next up, still on the prelims. This is a prelim fight, you guys. We got the Dagestanian Umar Nurmagomedov, brother, cousin of Khabib, and the former flyweight champ, who has went up to the bantamweight division, Davison God of War Figueredo. This is an interesting fight. I've kind of been back and forth on this one. We know Davidson Figueredo has great power, but since moving up to the bantamweight division, it hasn't been as effective as it was at flyweight. I think his last fight was it against Sandhagen? Was that his last fight? No, he got beat by Sandhagen. I think he had a fight after that. Let's see who it was. Let's see who it was. Oh, he fought Montel Jackson. Yeah, he won that one by decision. So yeah, he's fighting Umar. Yeah, it's coming off a win. I don't think Umar has. No, Umar lost against Marab Dawalishvili in the title fight, and then after that he beat Mario Batista. That's right. In that last fight, he got tired towards the end, was kind of wore out. That's unlike the Dagestanians. It's interesting, but he did admit he is nothing like his cousin Khabib. So Umar, I think he'll definitely control Figueredo in the stand-up with his technical striking. The difference is going to be how Umar uses the wrestling. I think with that game plan and his takedown defense that's so good, I think Umar will get this one by decision. Yeah, and beat Figueredo by decision. That's what I'm gonna go with for that one. Now to the main card. Finally, we got Arnold Allen versus John Silva. Yeah, Arnold Allen versus John Silva. You guys know I had to get the fighting nerds glasses out for this breakdown. Arnold Allen has not been active at all. I think he's been suffering from a lot of injuries. Fought Giga won that one. And before that he fought Mobzar. And Arnold Allen hasn't fought at all in 2025. We know John Silva is coming off that devastating loss to Diego Lopez, who's going to fight for the title again at UFC 325 against Bukauskas. This is one of those. This is kind of difficult fight to call. Cause with all that time, I know Arnold Allen has been working on his game, and it's gonna be interesting to see what form he shows up in and how he looks in this fight. We know John Silva has the creative, crafty striking and is gonna put hella pressure on Arnold Allen and make him fight. So Arnold Allen is gonna have to, finish John Silva or get finished. That's what it's gonna come down to, and that's what it comes down to in a lot of fights with Silva. If you can't keep him off you, he's gonna put the pressure on you, intelligent pressure. Finds great strikes, has good submissions as well, and get you out of there. But we know Arnold Allen is no slouch. He just hasn't got over that hump. We know he's elite and he has the chance to, get the title, but he hasn't got over that little hump and found the way to win these fights like against Max Holloway. He had that fight for a chance to get a title shot, and he sold in that one, but it's Maximus Holloway, the legend, so that was tough. But he's gotta get his game elevated to be able to get over that edge, to find the victory, and not take as much damage and win these fights when it matters most. So do I think Arnold Allen is gonna get over that hump? Is the question. Will he be able to finish John Silva? I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen on this one, guys. I know it's gonna be a tough one for him, and I know John Silva is likely to get the finish, but Arnold Allen is tough, does have a hell of a chin, and doesn't quit out there. So it's probably gonna be a brawl, guys. It's going to be a brawl, but I'm gonna pull it on Allen on this, and let's see what happens. But it's gonna be a great fight. Up next in the women's flyweight division, we got the amazing prospect Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunes. Hell, I did not think Silva was gonna um fight another fight unless it was for the title. I was thinking that's what might happen, but the Alexa Grasso, I guess, was originally supposed to be fighting Rose, and she got I think she got injured or something. And also we know one of the big fights on the card, you know one of the big historic fights that everybody wanted to see and has been wanting to see for so long. Um Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison got injured, so that fight got canceled. But we do have Rose and the prospect upcoming Brazilian Natalia Silva. Rose, as we know, is incredible, gifted on the feet, great jiu-jitsu and good wrestling. Natalia Silva, also very well rounded, very quick, very fast. With her stand up style, kickboxing, great kicks, creative. She also is a very creative striker as well. Good counter strike as well. This is going to be a chess match, you guys. It's gonna be a chess match, but I just Rose hasn't looked the same at flyweight. I really wish she would have stayed with Trevor Whitman. We know this Rose, knocked out John Wei Lee and in the first round and beat her by decision. We know Rose had the title and everybody was big on Rose, and just since she's made the move to the flyweight division and still being under uh Pat Barry, it hasn't looked the best, and I mean, if she's happy, she's happy. What am I to say? But I mean, damn, just so much talent and potential. Um, Damn, would have loved to see her stick with Trevor Whitman, or find some better coaching. Pat Barry's all right, but it is what it is. But yeah, I just think Natalia Silva may edge this one out. Rose doesn't. She has an issue getting aggressive and finding strikes and getting damage when she needs it in the flyweight division to pull these fights out. So I'm gonna go with Natalia Silva by decision, but we're not gonna count Rose out. We're gonna not gonna count Rose out. She very well could win. Hopefully we see her in her true form. But next up we got the big guys, the OG Derek Lewis versus the surging prospect Waldo Acosta-Correz. Acosta-Correz, who's been looking good as of late. Who did he just had two good recent victories, fought kind of back to back. Yes, beat the other prospect Shamil Gaziyev, and people were high on Gaziyev. Finished Gaziyev in round one, and then he had that little bit of a controversial finish against what's his name? On the how do you pronounce this shit? Delia. It's Tom Aspinall's training partner. But Waldo Costa-Correz has been looking good, and this is his gonna be one of his breakout fights to see if he belongs in the upper echelon of the division. They got Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, holding down the gatekeeper position at heavyweight. Acosta-Correz is gonna have to avoid those bombs, and he knows if he can just, watch out for Derek Lewis' power, he probably can find the finish. I'm gonna go with Acosta-Correz getting this one done within within those 3 rounds, I think he's gonna probably get the finish. Derek Lewis has been known to, kind of give up, so to speak, when things aren't going his way in fights. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Acosta-Correz, the Dominican. I'm not Dominican, Poppy. I'm not black. I'm Dominican. No, 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 no. I'm not black. Dominican, Poppy. Co-main event of the evening. We got Sean Rainbow O'Malley versus Beat Song Yadong. Yeah, Song Yadong versus Sean O'Malley. Gonna be a good one. But I imagine Sean O'Malley is just too technical. Too good at keeping the distance. He knows how to use his range and his length. I imagine he's gonna stay out the outside on the outside with that jab across those teeth, stinging song whenever he wants to, and eventually, he's gonna stay on this bike, dart in with that right or that straight, get out of range, Song Yadong's gonna probably have trouble finding him, and probably eventually find a TKO against Song Yadong. But this is a MMA fight. Anything can happen. Song Yadong is good in his own right. He he does tend to struggle a little bit against longer rangier fighters, and at a longer rangier fighter, Sean O'Malley is probably the cream of the crop with his striking when it comes to that. But he can get clipped and get caught by them bombs that Song Yadong throws. We know he has that power in his hands and throws bombs. So O'Malley will have to watch out for that. Song Yadong does have a chance to catch O'Malley. But I'm going to go with O'Malley getting it done in I'd say the third round. And as I was saying, okay, we on to the main event of the evening. Guys, check out my breakdown just specifically on this fight. We got just in the highlight Gaethje versus Paddy. The baddie, Pimblett. Scars just can't get knocked out, mate. You can't knock out the Scars. This is gonna be a good one. Great way to start off 2026. Let's get into it. A lot of people are high on Paddy for this fight. A lot of people believe that they excuse me. A lot of people I guess feel like Gaethje can't get it done and Paddy's just too good. Especially considering his last fight against Michael Chandler, which was, as I stated, a good performance. But as we know, Chandler, in my opinion, was overrated, had a lot of hype behind him, and was never the fighter that they touted him to be. Good fighter though. Good fighter. But just in a highlight Gaethje, I think the difference is gonna be in Gaethje's experience and him, even though Paddy's not shy, he's not afraid of the hype, he's not afraid of the stardom, taking it very well, big following, handles it all well, confident as fuck. But I think the experience that Gaethje has is what's gonna be the difference in this fight. The 5 rounds. Gaethje's technical ability. Though he's gonna have to watch out. Sometimes Gaethje ducks and could run into a head kick or something like that. He has to avoid that. And we know Paddy is gonna want to get Gaethje to the ground. It's gonna be interesting to see if Paddy can control the range on Gaethje. That's the thing. I don't think he can, but Paddy could end up you know, controlling the distance, controlling the range, peppering Gaethje, you know, with those leg kicks and jabs and it's straight. Has a very basic stand-up game, but he does have some holes in it. As everybody know, he leaves his chin in there and things like that. But, um, I just think Gaethje is going to, you know, get in close and be able to find his shots, those nasty uppercuts and hooks to the body and you know, knees and will a lot of people talk about Gaethje's low kicks and how he has some of the best in the game, but a lot of people have pointed that out that Gaethje doesn't throw his leg kicks like he used to. He doesn't utilize that as much anymore. Will he bring it back out in this fight? It's gonna be interesting to see. Him, Trevor Whitman, and Patty all have you know, done interviews with Brian Okamoto talking about, you know, sort of, you know, their game plans and what they might be looking to do. And this is gonna be a good fight, but I think I'm gonna go with Gaethje with the experience on this one and the veteranship. His veteran mentality, his championship mentality, him wanting to get to that belt. Although Patty is the favorite, and I can't really argue with that. Should he be as big of a favorite? That's another question. But um, you know, a lot of people are riding with him with that performance over Michael Chandler. Another thing got stated, like, you know, I still haven't forgot that Jared Gordon fight. Yes, he's kind of cleaned it up a little bit, become a little bit more patient. You know, he's just not going out there going haywire, you know, and using his technical and technique and fighting to a game plan a lot more. But I'm gonna roll with the highlight on this one, third round finish. But guys, we know it can go either way. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. That's my wrap up for my breakdown on UFC 324, Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Like, share this, subscribe, watch the breakdown I did. Me explaining why I don't believe in Paddy. But that's gonna be all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. D Sky Hardcore Casual MMA. I'm out. Peace.